YouTube, how we doing? Today we're going to be going into the number 1 overall pick, and that is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars 7th-round mock draft. Now, if you're excited Jaguar fans, let me know in the comment section below, and also let me know by hitting that like button. It helps me out a ton. And subscribing if you are new. We're doing 7th-round mock drafts for every NFL team before this draft ends up happening later this month. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a grind, but we're going to get to it. And first, before we get into this video, I do want to say that the Jaguars have a ton of picks, so I'm not going to be able to get too in deep with a lot of these prospects. I'm going to try and keep it condensed to make this video as quick as possible. So just be prepared that it's not going to be the most in-depth mock draft you're going to see on YouTube, but it is going to get you in and out, and you're going to see some selections here. With the first overall selection, I have the Jags selecting Neal, the tackle out of Alabama. He's got a 95 overall next-gen grade. Reason I have this is Cam Robinson got tagged. You know, it's a one-year deal, but he still hasn't signed it. Jawan Taylor, you know, I think Neal is obviously an upgrade over Jawan Taylor, so even if Robinson does stay, I think Neal is going to be the better player there. And it's the same situation. You want to protect your investments. You know, you drafted ETN in the first round last year. You drafted Trevor Lawrence number 1 last year. You got all this money spent on the offense. Time to beef up the offensive line and make it one of the best that you can in your division in the NFL as much as you can, because you need Trevor Lawrence to succeed as that franchise guy. And that is what we're trying to do here with this selection of Neal. And I think it's going to be doing a lot for Jacksonville. Here at pick 33, again going with an offensive lineman here in Tyler Linderbaum out of Iowa. The reason I like this selection here is because Tyler Linderbaum's kind of fallen out of the first round, and it's perfect for Jacksonville because now you have an awesome offensive line where you're going to have at left tackle, let's say Cam Robinson, Ben Barch at left guard, Tyler Linderbaum in center, Brennan Sheriff at right guard, and Neal at the right tackle. That is a elite offensive line, one of the best in football right away. We saw the impact that Creed Humphrey had for the Chiefs last year. So getting Tyler Linderbaum here in the second round, you're making this offensive line great, one of the best in the league. And that is just going to set up ETN for success. It's going to set up Christian Kirk for success. It's going to set up Trevor Lawrence for success, Evan Ingram for success. It's going to do so much for this team, and you build from the trenches and you're building outwards. I think that is an amazing slot here. There wasn't really any other guys at the positions of need that seemed valuable here. There was no guys that really fell or anything like that. So Linderbaum seemed like the easiest pick at pick 33 for Jacksonville. Here at pick 65, we're going to go ahead and select Phidarian Mathis out of Alabama, the defensive lineman. This team needs to keep creating pressure, especially from the interior. You need to get some guys. It would be cool to see a Calais Campbell reunion, but I don't think that's going to happen. But Phidarian Mathis coming in here in that interior is going to mess up some guys. I mean, he is going to be able to get through and most of all plug up the middle for guys like Josh Allen, and you know, if we have an edge rusher selected later on in this draft, for them to get some more pressure. You know, Arden Key just got brought in as well. This is just a team that, again, just needs talent all around the board, and we're just trying to fill out those pieces. Phidarian Mathis is going to help plug up that middle. Should be a day 1 starter right away. Going on to pick 70, we have a partner in crime for Josh Allen, and that's going to be Drake Jackson, the edge out of USC. Very early on in the draft process, he was a fringe first-rounder. He's kind of slipped from there, not necessarily due to his play, but more or less due to the upside of others and what has been shown from there. Graded out as a 75 from Next Gen. And yeah, I really do like what Drake Jackson can do on that opposite side of Josh Allen. You're not spending a premium on an edge rusher, but you're still getting a very good edge rusher to add to this rotation of guys with Chason still there, with Arden Key being paid to come in. I think Jackson's going to be able to slot in and become one of the better ones, probably win the opposite job in my opinion. This is a deep edge class, and you're going to see a lot of edge rushers kind of fall because of that. Drake Jackson's just one of those guys that unfortunately is falling, and that is going to be perfect for Jacksonville. We're going to have a trade to announce. We're going to be selecting at the 85th overall selection now, and the Patriots are going to move down and get 106th and 180th from us. That is going to be giving up 2 picks that are a little bit later on for another one. We're filling out a lot of roster, but at this point, we have a lot of our pieces set. We need to move up and get good talent, and those later picks aren't going to matter as much to us, especially because we have so many in this draft class. So getting rid of 2, getting 1 a little bit higher, going to do a lot for us. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I just want to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy really quick. The NFL season's over, but you could still draft a new fantasy team on Underdog Fantasy and win cash prizes. They have a slick mobile app and a user-friendly site. You can also join a league and draft a team in minutes. Plus, the folks at Underdog are helping you guys out that are watching the video by matching up to $100 on your first deposit for new users when you use code SORMANI, SORMANI. So just go to underdogfantasy.com or go download the App Store or the Google Play Store. Sign up with the code SORMANI, that's SORMANI, and Underdog is going to match your first deposit all the way up into $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SORMANI, SORMANI. Now let's get back to this video. I went ahead and selected Isaiah Likely, the tight end out of Coastal Carolina, 84 overall grade from Next Gen. Tight ends are falling in this draft class. No one is really shining, and that's what I love about this draft for the Jacksonville Jaguars, because you have Evan Ingram on a one-year deal. It'd be hard-pressed for me to see him getting extended. Dan Arnold is there. I think he's on the last year of his deal. Manhurts, I'm not sure if he's back or not, but you're looking at this, and you're getting a guy who, rookie tight ends never blow up. It's just not a thing. Kyle Pitts was the exception, and that's Kyle Pitts, obviously. So when you're looking at a guy like Isaiah Likely, you'll get him out there. He'll maybe get, couple hundred yards receiving and, maybe a couple touchdowns, but nothing too crazy. But then year two is when tight ends will really start to shine, and he'll have a full year of development under his belt, and he'll be able to come and be that starting caliber tight end come the 2023 NFL season. So I really like the Likely pick. He'll make an impact right away, but he'll make that long-term development and that long-term impact a lot more, and that's going to be a perfect selection there for Jacksonville. All the way down here at pick 157, we're going to be selecting Chase Lucas, the corner out of Arizona State, graded as a next-gen grade of 63. The reason I like Chase Lucas is also his biggest downside. He's 25 years old. Now, the plus side of that is he is ready to step on the field right away. He is going to be able to sub in as a DB. He's going to be able to give you quality snaps as a rookie, and you're pretty much going to get him for his career on his rookie deal. Which is bad for Chase, but great for the team. But when you look at what he can do, he's going to be able to pretty much control the field and be a leader. He was a leader for 5 years at Arizona State. He was been there for such a long time at this point. So it is a downside his age. That's why he's going to be down here. But Chase Lucas is definitely somebody that could add to this DB room and help out a ton, and also be a vocal leader for the younger guys on the team as he's coming in as a rookie, but he is an older rookie. A lot older than a lot of these guys. So Chase Lucas can definitely add to this DB room a ton. Then here at pick 188, I'm going to be selecting Trey Turner, the wide receiver out of Virginia Tech, graded as a next-gen grade of 76. He's top 5 in school history in receptions and receiving yards, which is amazing for a school like Virginia Tech, who has had some great talent come through their program for years and years. Trey Turner has been that guy. He's a bigger body. He's about 6'2". So I think he'll learn from guys like Marvin Jones on the roster, Zay Jones as well, and just be a good depth piece to this receiving room, which is a pretty decent receiving room, and, hopefully progress, and you maybe find a late-round guy. He's one of my favorite later-round day 3 finds. I really do like Trey Turner a lot for this draft class. Here at pick 197, we're going to be selecting Pierre Strong Jr. out of South Dakota State. We don't know when James Robinson's going to be back. And, Raquel Armstead, the rest of this running back room behind ETN isn't too strong. You're going to add another guy, ironically, no pun intended, in Pierre Strong, who is just going to add to the running back room, give you some quality. It's hard to see if ETN and Robinson are going to be paired together or if they're going to try and move one of them after the season. But we'll see what happens. But Pierre Strong can definitely be somebody who shows a lot of potential due to him not being in a Power 5 conference and such at South Dakota State. The level of competition he had wasn't big, but if he can translate that, similar to what Elijah Mitchell did this season, I think you found a great stash in Pierre Strong and can definitely be a piece for the future for either your team or a trade piece for another team. Pierre Strong at 197. Back-to-back picks here at 198. We're going to take Wanya Thomas, the safety out of Georgia Tech, more or less the strong safety role. The safety room is not amazing. Rayshon Jenkins, Wingard are pretty much the starters. I like Cisco from Syracuse. I like him a lot. But, is he going to be free? Is he going to be strong? You just need more depth at the safety position, and hopefully you find your two that are going to come out and start right away for the season. And maybe Wanya is that guy. You know, you never know what you can find. But at worst, you're going to get a very strong special teamer. You can put on coverages. And, you know, at this point in the draft, that's really what you're looking for is guys to add depth and special teams play. And Wanya Thomas can do both of those. Here at pick 222, we're going to be selecting Chance Campbell, the linebacker out of Ole Miss, graded as a 65 from Next Gen, transferred from Maryland. Just another guy who, you know, is going to be more depth in special teams room. You always hope that these guys can develop, but again, you know, you're looking for guys that can just provide quality backup snaps and quality special team snaps, and that's really what you're going to get a guy like Chance Campbell for. I think he's going to be able to do a great job at both of those. Last but not least, we're going to be selecting Neal Farrell Jr., the interior defensive lineman from LSU, 71 overall grade from Next Gen, which is pretty high for this late in the draft. But we already took Phidarian Mathis. You're adding a guy in Farrell. You're just hoping to increase this defensive line and just make it better and more depth as well. And why not double up on defensive line and see what you can get out of a guy from LSU, which, you know, struggled this last season, but really was one of the strongest teams for a long time in college football. But that is going to be it for the Jacksonville Jaguars mock draft. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to let me know by hitting that like button. It really does help me out a ton. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. And, of course, use promo code Sormani, SORMANI, at Underdog Fantasy for your first deposit to be matched up to $100. But if you guys did enjoy the video, like I said, leave a like. If you didn't, just refresh that page and let me know what you think about it the second time. Because without further ado, that is going to be it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one.
How you talking 50K? How you talking making plays or just talking? Yeah. I do this shit on my own time. Time is money, so I did it on my own dime. Word to Bookie, yeah, this homage gave me game. Yeah, he taught me family ties. Quick to back there, off me. Nah, I can't wait for you.